Vegas, year and a half of field training, from the academy to through field training before you're out on your own. My favorite type of call? Oh my God, there's, you know, the fun calls are always a good time. It makes the day go by a little faster. But exciting calls. I mean, the ones that make you make your heart race. The robbery calls, the shooting calls. Those were always the ones. That's why you sign up to be a policeman and to be an emergency response officer. It's all fun. It's all a great time. It's an e-ticket ride, I'll tell you. You're going to see in this particular case how often they try to get the female officer to give up her money, and that was one of the first signs. Never before has that happened. It's always somebody trying to give the drugs to us first. Once the source of supply shows up, there's a lot of conversation that goes on in the car. You're going to see the body position. He didn't even get inside the car completely. That's an important indicator, a big red flag. And not sure you'll be able to hear it over the radio where I said, watch out for the runners, because he's not set up. He's not completely inside the vehicle, which is what we want to do. The gun that he pulls out is a gun that was stolen from another one of his co-conspirators' mother. He went to his mom's house and stole the gun and then gave it to this character to rob us. Later on during the interview, they all admit to the robbery. Now you see how quickly this guy was a tough guy with a gun pointing it at a woman, and right away he's crying like a baby. Now as this deal is going down, we're now hunting down the other co-conspirators who showed up at the beginning to set up the deal. Was the gun loaded? Yes. They were asking if the gun was loaded, Paul. Yes, it was. It was loaded with one in the chamber. It looked as if he had his hand over the top of the slide and was trying to take the safety off or on. We don't exactly know, but yeah, it was fully loaded. People want to do a ride-along. Well, it's a little harder to ride along with the narcotics section, but you can certainly ride along with patrol. You can make the call and call to the police stations, and after a small background, they can give you an opportunity to do a ride-along, or you can do the Citizens Police Academy. No, nobody got hurt. No one got hurt. Fortunately, we had a good case. We came down. The element of surprise is really the best way that this thing went down. They didn't know we were coming. They weren't expecting us to show up, and everything went down very smooth.
How old were you when you joined the force?
How old was I when I joined the force? I was 21 years old.
That's where you recommend.
And this is a great career. It's a good career for excitement and for development. I've gone to a lot of training, a lot of classes. So yeah, absolutely. This has been a great ride for me, and I hope to still have many more years ahead of me. What I'd recommend for the police academy is keep getting in shape. Make sure you can make those runs, that you can go to the academy, that you're fit, you're physically fit. Even today, I still probably am at the gym as often as I can. It's just sometimes it gets a little more difficult than others, but being physically fit. What's my favorite kind of donut? I don't partake in donuts. Why does everybody always ask that? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Continuing education for police officers, I think it's important to keep doing that. Criminal justice classes on leadership, self-motivation. Have we ever stumbled on to a bigger case than we thought accidentally? Yes. In fact, just a few weeks ago, we started a case. Our high-end DEA task force was looking at a group selling methamphetamine here in Las Vegas. They initially thought it was maybe 40 or 50 pounds that these guys were moving. Once the search warrants were served and we took everybody into custody, we ended up somewhere in the range of about 200 pounds of methamphetamine. So yeah, it happens on occasion. If anybody has any Q&A, if you have any questions you want to ask me, certainly I'm open. I'll try to get to as many as I can. I got nothing against donuts. It's just not my thing.
Talk about Metro. Is this a good place to live, work? Metro Police Department.
Talk a little bit about the police department. We have about 3,000 police officers on our department. That includes the jail. We are a department that is a combination between the sheriff's department and the police department merged together. So we have countywide jurisdiction and some 8,000 square miles. We have a K-9 unit, we have horse patrol, we have SWAT teams, search and rescue, helicopters. We have the full spectrum of policing. It's a very exciting place to work in a city that never sleeps.
What do you think about the DARE program? Do you think it's still effective?
Yeah, asking about the DARE program, if I think it's effective, I believe it is. My son went through it. I've got friends that are officers on the DARE program. I've got friends of mine whose kids are on the program. I believe. I mean, that's just my opinion. I do believe that it's a good program. It certainly opens your eyes and hopefully steers kids into the right direction, away from drugs.
What would you have done differently early in your career with Metro?
What would I have done differently in my career early on? I don't know. I really think that everything I've done so far has got me to a very successful platform in my career. So I don't know if there's anything I would do different. I enjoyed every bit of it. It's been an exciting 23 years, and I hope to have a few more. And but at this point, no, I don't think there's anything I would do differently. I've had fun everywhere I've been. The one good thing about this police department is there's so many fun things to do, so many different places to work.
About Metro, if you're interested in Metro, you can go to the website.
When was the last time that I had to fire my gun? Well, I fired it just last month at the range during qualifications, but I have not had to fire my gun on at anyone on duty, fortunately. So I try to practice as often as I can because you never know. William wants to know if he's learned a lot through the Explorer program. I do believe that that's a great program. I did it as a young man at 16 and 17 years old. It was a good time. What are the requirements for out-of-town people who are looking to be a part of LVMPD? What I would do is log on to our website, www.lvmpd.com, and it'll give you all of the requirements that you can look at, numbers to call the recruiters. So it's pretty self-explanatory when you get on the website.
What case stands out most in your memories to you?
Cases that stand out most for me, anyhow, was as a detective in the sex crimes unit. I was responsible for working cases involving crimes against youth and family. At the time, my son was really young, so those were really tough cases, but probably the most rewarding. You lock up these pedophiles and these very serious criminals, and they go away for a very long time. So those were a lot of cases. Some of them are a little difficult to remember, but certainly I do remember those as being the ones that hurt the most, but the most rewarding at the same time.
Wade wants to know how you can do a ride-along with you.
Ride-alongs with narcotics, it's going to take a little bit of work. I would suggest you do a ride-along with patrol first, and then once you get your foot in the door there, we can try to do something with narcotics. But this is a covert unit, and we try not to have too many people do ride-alongs. We had a camera crew with us, and there's a peek at some of the things that we do. They've also done some ride-alongs and gotten some other cases, so hopefully they'll play those for us, or play those for you guys somewhere down the road here soon. Is it better to have a criminal justice degree before joining the police department? I wouldn't say necessarily it's criminal justice degrees required, but it would be good to have something like that. Any degree that you want to expand your knowledge is good. It is good for you, and it's good for preparing you for the academy and preparing you for the police department. How old do you have to be to do? How old do you have to be to go on patrol? You mean a ride-along? I think that's what you mean. You got to be 18 years old to do a ride-along. You have to at least be an adult. At what time will we get to see the video of the bust? It just aired on TV, so you can either look for some previews or maybe see if they'll replay it on the internet or through YouTube.
Give it aside, consider joining a different department before that.
Did I ever decide to do different? Well, asking me where I wanted. No, this was always where I wanted to work. I originally thought maybe I'd want to work for the Nevada Highway Patrol, but the LVMPD came through quick, and I went right into the academy.
You had the same camera crew with you.
The same camera crew was with me throughout the entire. I think they rode with me for a few months, and outside of maybe a sound person changing, yeah, it was the same. It was the same people, probably every day. I'm not going to sing the Bad Boys song. I think you could probably get on the internet and spot that. My opinion of open and carry. Well, it's. If you follow the rules and you have your permit to do such, it's your right to carry your gun. Would I ever change my job? Not right now. I really love what I'm doing, and I think I'm going to stick to this for a bit until something better comes along. There's always time for career development, and I love to learn. And the one great thing about being a policeman is that. Have I ever been tased? Justin, no, I've never been tased. I know people that have done it, but no. Did you all like the show? Did you get a chance to see it? Did anybody have any questions about that? Has Alexander's asking if anybody from FBI or DA have taken over cases for us. Yeah, it happens quite often, but they've always been very good about working with us together. Makes the case a lot stronger. What advice would I give people who are visiting Las Vegas for the first time? Go to the Strip, enjoy it. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's a couple of miles of some of the most amazing properties in the world. Come out here and have fun. It's a good time, but you're in a big city, so pay attention to your environment. Look around. Try not to talk to any strange people. Dress like characters on the Strip that you can probably see. And just be careful like you would even in your own hometown. This is a big city, but it's an amazing time. It's a lot of fun. No, you don't have to get tased in the police academy. Maybe they did that early on, but no, we don't have to do that anymore.
You were on before they had tasers.
Yeah, I was on the police department before they had tasers. Don's asking if I've ever been scared for my life. It's happened, sure. You know, but you've got to take that fear and turn it around and